Hey guys, welcome to the session by Intellipaat. Python is one of the most used and preferred language of the decade. It is used from simple programming to artificial intelligence. Top MNCs like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and other IT companies use it to accomplish their task. In this video, we'll be learning about how a person can become a Python developer. And before proceeding to our session, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. So in order to get notification of our next upcoming videos. So let's proceed to the agenda. Firstly, we'll be discussing about a brief introduction to Python, followed by its importance. Secondly, we'll be discussing about what are the skills required to become a Python developer. Lastly, we'll be discussing about how a person can become a Python developer. If you have any queries, put them down in the comment section. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if you're interested in the course of Python, Intellipaat does provide Python certification course which help you masters the course thoroughly. Without much delay, let's begin with our session.
So, what is Python? Well, I'm sure we've all heard of the term Python, and we've had friends or families who have been Python programmers, right? These days, Python is being taught in as early as ninth grade. There's a ninth grade school syllabus where one of my friends was discussing with me, saying his kid is pretty much learning Python, and I was flabbergasted by that. So anyway, coming back, guys, Python is one of the best programming languages out there right now. It is a very easy to learn object oriented language which involves a lot of high level programming, very simple, very easy to code with, and then at the end of it, it is primarily used for web and app development, and this is a very key factor in today's world because the entire world, in my opinion, today revolves around the internet. It revolves around applications based on the internet, right? I mean, think about cloud services about 10 years ago. Pretty much was, let's say, I wouldn't say non-existent, but then think about how it was 10 years ago and how it is today. So Python has pretty much had that strong footing, for a while now. It was Java, which was the king of programming languages a couple of years ago, and then Python came and stole the throne, guys. So the key takeaway from this slide for you guys is that Python is an amazing object-oriented language, and it is a high-level programming language, which means that even without prior knowledge of programming, you can pretty much understand what's happening with the code. You can take a 90% sure shot guess at what's happening with the code, and there's a very good chance you're pretty much right. So that, in programming language terms, is a win-win for a beginner, and it makes the life of an intermediate or an advanced programmer easy as well, guys. So here's a fun fact. You might be thinking, hey, Python wasn't here when I was in school, or I was learning C in school or basic in school, right? Well, here's a fact. Python has been in existence since the 1980s, right? So that's a long time. That's like almost 40 years ago. So Python is going to turn 40 years old pretty much in the next coming year. And then it has gained hell lots of momentum in the beginning of the 21st century, I'm sorry, and it has been rising in popularity across the world, right? So I remember joining this Python community where we were just a handful of members, let's say somewhere around a couple thousand numbers, and now there are millions across the world. There are kids, there's everyone. We have pretty much everyone. We have research scholars in our communities. We have subject matter experts. Guys, we have so many people with a wide spectrum of age and nationality that it's amazing how Python just reached everyone, and then everyone is so comfortable to work with. If you're a beginner, it's amazing to start with. If you're an intermediate programmer, it's an amazing language to jump to. And if you're an advanced programmer, you can exploit the language for all of your needs, right? So we have Mr. Guido van Rossum. He was the person who created Python. Here's a fun fact. He just retired from Dropbox day before yesterday, guys. So he's been working till date as a programmer at Dropbox. And he just took retirement from the entire world of information technologies just 2 days earlier. That's a fun fact for you guys. So coming to facts. Here are quick Python facts that I thought I'll just let you guys know, because again, we might not be exposed to kind of information like this, right? So Mozilla Firefox is a browser with that most of us use, and then this has over 230,000 lines of code just written in Python. I mean, did we guys, did we know this? I mean, pretty much head to the comment section and do let me know if you guys actually knew this fact. And then Microsoft, well, Microsoft was pretty much started as a business where they were charging a lot, and then they realized that open source is the next biggest thing, and whatever Microsoft tries to push today is pretty much open source and free. So they promote Python development, and they have their own IDE, which is an amazing IDE. We call it Visual Studio. And they pretty much they teach Python development in their academy, and there's so much more about just this world of open source, and how Microsoft pretty much came into this world of open source, and they're helping the community grow as well, guys.
Just a quick information, guys. If you want to be a certified professional in Python, Intellipaat does provide Python certification course which help you master the concepts thoroughly. Link has been given in the description box below. So without a much delay, let's proceed further.
And then coming to Netflix. Well, who doesn't use Netflix, right? I mean, think about it. Well, Netflix, it shares its extensive user base of data. It's, whatever the user's been playing, whatever is being recommended to the user, what languages the user likes to watch. I mean, it takes just a billion facts about the user and gives custom recommendations to the user to such a level of depth that I have not seen anywhere else. So let's say you like Tom Cruise a lot, and you've been watching a lot of Tom Cruise films on Netflix. What Netflix does, it is so intelligent where the thumbnails of the movies that you see, right? Thumbnails are those tiny images which give you an idea of what the image is. Those thumbnails keep changing, and Netflix has a machine learning algorithm which does it for them. So it pretty much goes about changing those thumbnails based on the favorite actors you like to watch. I mean, how cool is that? They're making it a homely experience for the viewers by showing them their favorite actors all the time. And this takes a lot of knowledge in data science and machine learning, guys, and they're doing it right. And the most important thing is they're doing it with Python, guys. So coming to Uber. We all know Uber. Uber says that they use Jupyter Notebooks and IPython to share a lot of data in between their drivers, in between their passengers, communicating the backend data with respect to the passengers and the Uber Central Connect. That's what they call it, and so much more. I mean, whenever the first time I pretty much go on reading facts about Python, every time I'm taken aback by how cool the language is, and you have to go about reading about the people who are Python developers, guys. They absolutely love what they're doing, irrespective of the company, irrespective of the country they're from, irrespective of their level of expertise with Python. Everyone in our community pretty much just loves working with Python. So on that note, I'm sure you guys might be curious about a quick couple of features about Python, right? I've broken it down into very simple terms, and I'll quickly walk you through the features of Python, guys. Again, Python, the most important feature that I believe is Python is extremely easy to learn and use for a beginner, guys. If I had to ever go back to my school days or my college days, I would pretty much pick Python if I had the knowledge I have now. Because, first of all, there is no dreaded semicolons, guys. I have been tired of my entire life, pretty much working with semicolons back when I was in school and college, and I'm just done with it, and then now with Python, there is no semicolon. I mean, this is just one simple fact that I'm nitpicky about. And the best part is, for beginners, it is a high-level programming language. Whereas I've already mentioned, you might not know what the syntax is doing. It might just look like code, right? There's a reason we call it code. It might look like code to you. Even as a beginner, you'll just look at the code and you'll be like, hey, okay, this is a print statement. This is doing this. So you pretty much could guess it, even though you would not know, what's going on with the language, guys. So that is the number one most important feature I would like to highlight for you guys. And number two, Python is a very expressive language, guys. If you can understand the code that you're writing, even as a beginner, even as an advanced programmer, I sometimes get stuck with languages where I do not understand what the code means, and I have to, be stuck with it, learn more about it, and work with it. Well, since Python is an expressive language, you can go about understanding what exactly is happening to your code, what exactly you want to do with your code. So if you know what your Python goal is, then translating that goal and to code is extremely easy because of how easy it is to mold around and work with Python, in my opinion, guys. Hence, this deserves the number two place in our features list. And then coming to number three. Well, number three is probably another amazing fact about Python, that it is an interpreted language. What is the main advantage of interpreted language? Well, let me tell you. There is one advantage and there's one tiny disadvantage here as well. The advantage is that, let's say you have an if else clause, let's say you have a statement, if statement, and you have an else statement or something, or let's say you just have two different statements which does two different things. So if one of the statements is wrong in that particular case, but you will not be executing that statement, Python will never tell you that you have an error. Even if your statement is wrong, since Python is not going to execute that statement, it will be like, it's all cool. But if you were executing that statement which had a mistake, Python will give you a beautiful error explaining what the actual error goes about. That's another thing I love about Python. But this advantage of you doing a mistake and Python not picking it up and still being able to execute line by line is amazing, guys. So the tiny disadvantage here is that you might not realize that you have made a mistake, because unlike other languages, it is not compiled and then executed, right? So since we do not have that compile procedure here, you will not realize that you have made that tiny mistake somewhere in the thousands of lines of code, and it comes to bite you back later. And then you will realize that, okay, now this is a small disadvantage. Well, do not worry, guys. As a beginner and an intermediate user, you pretty much will not be stuck with any of these if you have the right training and if you have your foundation strong. So that's number three. Coming to number four, again, I've been pushing the free and the open source card for a while in my life right now, and I believe this again is a very important thing to the community, because I just read a couple of months ago, one important fact about Python is that Python has played a huge role, in the research which went about detecting cancer prematurely, and they've increased the the rate of finding if the cancer is malignant or benevolent, and so much more, guys. So this think about it, if it was paid, there is a very good chance that the developer who probably found it out, the team who found it out, let's say they didn't want to pay for it or something, and it wouldn't come up, right? This is just one instance I am giving you, and we have millions of users in Python. So think about how many users who would have not picked up Python if it weren't free, guys. And open source communities are the most friendliest communities in the world. Well, guys, if you have not stepped into our Intellipaat's technical community, I suggest you come step by, say hi, meet all the other learners alongside you. You can meet subject matter experts, you can meet design architects, you can meet technical consultants. I mean, we have so many guys, we have so many people asking questions and answering in our own community. Well, it's amazing here, guys. So anyway, coming to the fifth important feature of Python, it is the vast amount of libraries. I mean, the first time I was trying to learn about Python, somebody told me there are over 2,000 libraries that you might have to learn, and I was taken aback. I was overwhelmed at that point of time. Well, think about it. It's a language. It's an amazingly... I'm sorry about that. So it's an amazingly, easy to learn language, but it has a number of libraries that you have to go about mastering, right? Well, not exactly. Your work with Python might be very customized at a point of time where you might have to just learn 5 or 6 libraries and just be an expert in those libraries, guys. You have very famous libraries like NumPy, like Pandas, like SkyPy, and so much more. Anyways, we'll just be quickly checking out what the libraries are when we talk about each of the concepts. But yeah, the amount of libraries, the number of ways that you can attack Python throughout and exploit its functionality for your business to make more money is just out of this world, guys. And that brings us to number 6. Good old object-oriented programming concepts, right? So yes, Python is an object-oriented language, and it is one of the most amazing object-oriented language, and I keep stressing this so much. I mean, it is not just I am a fan of Python. It's just that I am on this train which believes that Python is the best programming language that pretty much is helping beginners to get started with it, guys. All you're gonna need is a very good foundation, and you're gonna need some certification to add to your resume, and then you're good to go. So that brings us to the end of features, guys. Now, this is another important question you might be wondering about. Why should we learn Python? Well, I'll break it down in very simple terms, but to give you a quick couple of numbers, Python is ranked number 3 on the TIOBE index. This is basically an index which provides a couple of very good insights and facts, and it's number 3 on the index, which stands for popularity of programming languages. So pretty much Python is number 3 in the entire world as the most popular language today.
Just a quick information, guys. If you want to be a certified professional in Python, Intellipaat does provide Python certification course which help you master the concepts thoroughly. Link has been given in the description box below. So without a much delay, let's proceed further.
And the second one, it pretty much tops the list given by our IEEE spectrum. I mean IEEE friends. They pretty much have a spectrum which goes on as the number 1 language to learn. They say that Python is the language to go to. I mean, how cool is that? And then it's preferred for domains like data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. We know that data science is the biggest blowout of the 21st century as is, right? So knowing that Python is the preferred domain for data science just adds so much fuel to the fire there, and it helps learners learn more about Python and data science as well, guys. The outreach is unbelievable. Coming to again machine learning, and at the end of it, data science and machine learning, well, majorly if I have to put it under one umbrella, I would say it is all just to achieve artificial intelligence, right? It's as simple as that. So you might be wondering why you should learn Python. Okay, cool. You have the facts with you, but then think about the endless opportunities. You can do web development, you can do app development, you can go on to achieve artificial intelligence, you can do binary classification, you can do regression, you can, exploit everything there is about deep learning, there is about neural networks, and so much more. You just need to have that creative thought and have a goal in mind. You just need that goal, and then you can get to that goal really quick if you just know what you're getting at, guys. So these are some of the really big names, and I have a couple of very close friends who work at these places, guys. So I have friends at Facebook, Google, NASA, Quora, Amazon, Reddit, Netflix, Dropbox, and Instagram, and they love their jobs as Python developers. Well, if you're considering to become a Python developer, why not aim for the stars? Well, these are some of the good Fortune 500 companies, and there is every chance, if you have the foundations right, again I'm going to stress this, and if you have the certification right, you can land a job here as well. So you might be wondering, well, so what is Python used for? Well, Python is used for everything around you. It is so subtly integrated into your life that you don't realize it anymore. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, then yes, Python is working there with their machine learning and deep learning algorithms. Well, if you're watching this on an Android phone, Python is working there. If you're watching this on an iOS device, guys, Python is working there. Python is pretty much there everywhere, and you will be taken aback by knowing how many job requirements there are which come up every single day for the language, guys. So to break it all down for you and to keep it very simple and very quick, I've broken it down into this particular Python roadmap, guys. So here's a funny thing which I pretty much read a couple of days ago. So these are 3 steps on how to become a developer. The first thing, you will not know anything about becoming a developer. And the second thing is, you'll say, hey, bring me some tea or bring me some chai. And then you will drink the tea, and at the end of it, you will learn how to become a programmer, and you're like, I know everything right now. This is again one of the hilarious memes which moves around in the development community, and I thought we could just have a quick laugh in this particular session, guys. So anyway, coming back to seriousness, the first step pretty much in your Python journey is to decide why you want to learn Python, guys. Pretty much you need to have that goal in mind. What is your goal? Do you want to achieve artificial intelligence? Do you want to help the medical field? Do you want to get into the military and show them what powerful Python can do to secure your homeland? I mean, you just need to have a goal. It might be as simple as just writing a calculator app on your own and just enjoying the application, but at the end of it, the first important step ever to become a Python developer is to know why you want to do it. Because once you understand why you want to do it, then pretty much everything from now on becomes very easy. Because step 2 is just finding good material to study with, guys. You will be overwhelmed by the amount of material Python has. Let it be paid, let it be free, or let it be anything in this world. You will just be confused beyond your head about how many things that exist where you can go about studying Python. And at the end of the day, you just mixed up. You don't have your foundations right. You pretty much have your learning done in bits and pieces, and that is not a good way to go. Just probably find one good institution, one good book, work with that from start to end, and then you will be on your way, guys. That brings us to step number 3, which is an extremely important step in case you're considering becoming a Python developer very seriously. You might be from an electrical background, you might be from a computer science background, you might be not a technical, you might be a non-technical guy for all that matters. You will need to add that weightage in your resume, because a resume is just yourself in 2 simple pages, right? You need to sell yourself to the interviewer in such a nice way that the guy pretty much would want you in his company. So you this will having a Python course and a Python certificate, and telling the world that you're pretty much certified to work with Python, you have done some projects in this, and you have a strong foot with the programming language, and you can work your way across it. This is going to be the biggest advantage, and I've seen it personally in many organizations. They do prefer certification programs, and if you are certified in a language, they will believe, and pretty much you will prove it as well, that you are good with that, guys. And this brings us to step 4. Step 4, again, after having a certification, sure, you can always get back to their Python official. Python has an official documentation page where, for a beginner, I wouldn't recommend it. But then, sure, guys, if you are curious, to save that curiosity, you can always head to the Python documentation pages and then just give it a read through. I mean, I wouldn't suggest sit and learn from the official Python documentation, but hey, if you can do it, it's amazing. But if you cannot, we are always here to help you guys. So stick to the end of this video to understand how you can get certified in Python. So anyway, on that note, this brings us to step 5. Step 5, as I've already been telling you, there are thousands and thousands of framework and libraries for Python. You need to pick what your niche is. You need to pick, what your requirement is. This is why step 1 is very important. You need to know your goal. If you know your goal, let's say my goal right now is to probably work with machine learning. Machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, or anything. I can just come to Python, pick up all of the top libraries. There is SciPy, there's TensorFlow, there's PyTorch. I can just handpick all of these libraries, start learning them, work with them, do projects in them, get certified, put it in my resume, and then hey, I just sold myself really well to a Fortune 500 company. Well, God bless, I can pretty much land a job at Google or Facebook if I've done all of this right? So this is a hypothetical situation for me, but then for you guys, you can do it. Python is very easy and you can get there very easily, guys. And this brings us to step number 6. Step number 6 is somewhat my personal addition to this particular roadmap. Is you taking a peek into the source code of your favorite Python program, right? So let's say let's consider the fun fact that you never knew you can classify dogs and cats using Python. I mean, yeah, we have a machine learning binary classifier. We just need to show that classifier an image and it will tell us if it's a cat or a dog or whatever, right? So let's say you have a couple of pets you want to mess around with, then you can pretty much start uploading pictures, write a machine learning algorithm, basically a binary classifier. You can write a classifier, show the classifier a couple of images of cats and dogs, and it will classify it for you. It will say, hey, this is a dog, hey, this is a cat, and so much more. So consider if this was your favorite Python program, then just get on the website, just get on our YouTube channel. We have pretty much use cases for all of these amazing data sets out there. Just hit us up, or you can get in touch with any of our subject matter experts in case you need any help with your favorite source code as well. So you can pretty much go there, just mess around. Even if you do not understand what's happening with the code, just quickly take a look at the code, just see what's going on at the back end, because at the end of it, you never know when that idea strikes in your head to do something, right? And then you will feel comfortable, you will feel at home when you're just taking a look at the source code of your favorite Python program. And then this was how I fell in love with Python to begin with all these years ago, and I believe that it might help you guys. So head to the comment section if you've had any experiences like this. Just let me know there, guys. So on that note, next we'll be checking about how we can become a good Python developer, guys. The number one thing that you will require is a good problem solving mindset, because at the end of it, again, see, Python, not just machine learning or not any of these fancy terms, it will involve somewhat a basic of mathematics and converting this mathematics into coding, guys. If you know how you can do it, or it might not be mathematics, let's say, you can pretty much begin to approach any problem, and if you can do it efficiently, well, you're on your way to become a good Python developer. And guys, that is a very important point right there. And number 2 is having strong technical skills. Well, you might be wondering, guys, we might have students among with us today. We might just have enthusiasts who just want to switch from another language or anything. And you might be wondering if your technical skills are really that strong. Well, guys, if you do not have strong technical skills, well, not to worry. We at Intellipaat are here to train you and get your skills right up there, to hit the benchmark and to hit the culmination there, guys. So that'll again help you to become a good Python developer. And coming to number 3, having that strong communication skill. At the end of the day, see, you will need very good communication skills because you will be working with a team, and then you will have to communicate your code to your non-technical people as well. That becomes a very important factor here. And then at the end of it, since you might be writing thousands of lines of code, you need to document that code as well. If you have very good communication skills, then your documentation will be out of this world, which is going to help your peers, help your superiors, help your juniors, or whatever it may be, even your customer for that matter, right? So that is going to get you on your way to become a good Python developer as well, guys. If pretty much everyone here can gather all of these skills, it's just a matter of time and effort. And then the fourth most important thing is you need to have the eagerness to go about learning and mastering the language, guys. As I've been trying to tell you all the while, Python has been the most fun thing that pretty much a lot of people I know have done. And then it's just not me. We have millions of people in the community who actually agree. At one point of time, they thought Python was tough, and then they started to get their hands messy with the language, and now they just love the language absolutely, guys. So that is again another important thing. So you might be wondering what's next, right? So as soon as you're done with all of this, just make sure to get your hands dirty with as many projects as you can, guys. You can pretty much go on making a notepad using tkinter. You can do a message encode decode using tkinter, binary classifier using machine learning, hangman game in Python, browser automation using Selenium, tracking bird migration using Python, Twitter sentiment analysis is again a very very nice thing which beginners and intermediate learners go about when they're using Python. I mean, these are just some of the things that were at the top of my head, and these are some of the things that learners actually like to do. But then you can do any number of projects you want. Do a lot of projects, put them in your GitHub, sell yourself, you will land a Fortune 500 job, in my opinion, guys. So this brings us to pretty much the last concept in this session, guys. So what do we do about further learning? Guys, there is this one particular quote which I absolutely love, and it says that an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest, right? I mean, how strong is this quote? So just give that a read and then think about it, right? You just might be a casual learner, you just might be an expert in this field, or anything for that matter. Having an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest, in my opinion, guys. So in case if you guys are looking for any further learning, make sure, again, as I've always said, subscribe to our YouTube channel in case if you're into videos. But then if you are an avid blog reader, we do have an amazing blog channel here at Intellipaat, so you can pretty much head to our blog channels, give it a read. We have subject matter experts, and we have architects who pretty much go on to write our blogs. And then we publish a lot of blogs, and we take in a lot of requests as well. So if you have any requests, you can head to the comment section and pretty much put for us, and then we will we will write and customize the blog where we'll have a lot of learners who will be learning from those blogs as well, guys.
Just a quick information, guys. If you want to be a certified professional in Python, Intellipaat does provide Python certification course which help you master the concepts thoroughly. Link has been given in the description box below. We hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any queries, put them down in the comment section below. We'll get back to you immediately. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. See you again.